Hi everyone, it's Dawn. Welcome back to my channel. So I have an exciting video for you today. I have some new products from Colourpop. They aren't only just new to me, they might be new to you because it's a new collection that they just released in the past month or so for the holidays. So I have a couple products from that collection, but I'm also going to do a pretty much full face of Colourpop and let you know my thoughts. Now, if you've been watching me, you might recall that I don't like Colourpop. At least that's what I thought, because so many of you recommended this beautiful palette to me, Stone Cold Fox. And I looked at this palette and I thought, yes, that palette is made for me. And this is what it looks like. And I got home and I played with it and I hated it. And I didn't hate the colors. What I didn't like about it is that the mattes in this palette were so dusty, dustier than any other makeup I've ever tried. And I had such a hard time that I ended up putting it on a shelf and never using it. And then I mentioned it in a video later. This is like over the past year, year and a half. And one of you suggested that I get some disposable eyeshadow applicators, because those will make the palette less dusty. And so I did that and I started using the palette and really enjoying it. But I still in the back of my mind thought, I just didn't like how dusty they were when I used a brush, and I can't use a brush. So then time passed and then I started trying to use it with a brush again and it worked beautifully. So what I think was that the mattes and some of the shimmers, when I first used this palette, had a dusty layer on the top. I don't even know what to call that. Like maybe when they pressed the pigments, there was like a layer on the top that needed to kind of be dusted away. And then once that happened, it's no longer dusty. Have any of you experienced that with this palette or any other Colourpop palettes? So now I love this palette and I'm using it all the time. It's no longer dusty and I'm getting the most beautiful looks from this palette. When I purchased the Stone Cold Fox palette, I had also purchased a blush from the Super Shock collection, and they look like this. And when I purchased this blush, I thought it was a powder. I didn't realize that it wasn't, and I was trying to apply it with a brush and it wasn't working. I wasn't getting color payoff, and what I did get was patchy, and I thought the same thing as the eyeshadow palette. I was like, what in the world? And then my daughters started grabbing it out of my drawers and they started using it, and I noticed they were using it with their fingers and just using their fingers. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is not a powder, it's a cream. But it's a unique cream. It's a drier cream and it's cushy. So like this is what it looks like. This is a new one. And when you push, you can indent it with your finger and it comes out so pigmented and beautiful. And I had no idea how to use it. I guess I should have read more reviews, but I was doing a first impression and trying Colourpop for the first time. And so both of those products were a fail. And then I just never looked at Colourpop again. I just didn't even pay attention to it. And then gradually over time, I started enjoying these products. And then I started looking at Colourpop again and wanting to try more of their products. So what was once a fail ended up being a success. So yeah, sometimes you just need to keep trying, you know. I don't know when to give up on a beauty product. I guess if you're having an adverse reaction breaking out or it just looks terrible on you, but they're made to work. So if it's a product that everybody else seems to like and it's not working for you, you might be the reason. At least I was. So I picked up some new products from Colourpop and I'm gonna do a full face of makeup for you today. And this video did get kind of long. I'm finished, and I was gonna swatch all the colors of the eyeshadow palette for you, but I think I'm gonna cut that out because it is a long video. So right now I am just going to briefly tell you that I'm using a new palette that they released just recently, and it's the Fairy Well collection. There's another palette that's purple and absolutely stunning. I did not pick that one up. Mine is warm and cool toned neutrals. It looks like this. I'm going to show you some stock photo swatches of it. And I will tell you that I swatched these and they swatch beautifully and they do look very much like the stock photo that I'm showing you. And for time's sake, I'm just not going to swatch them on myself and go into great length about each individual color, but I will show you how this palette looks in action. And I'm going to show you some other products from this collection and some new to me products and some old favorites. So let's just jump in and get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is apply the Colourpop Pretty Fresh foundation. And I did purchase one when it first came out and everybody was reviewing it on YouTube and it was getting great reviews, particularly in the mature beauty. I wasn't really paying attention to YouTubers who have young skin because, you know, it just won't work the same for me on my 53-year-old skin. So I did pick it up, and this is the second bottle that I have, and it's a summer color, and it's 55N. It does come in about 45 shades, and there's fair, light, medium, and deeper tones, but within those tones, there are cool, neutral, and warm undertones. So it does make it a bit tricky to select the right color, but if you do purchase it from Ulta, they have the samples sitting out and you can apply them and go stand in front of a mirror and find your perfect color. So my perfect summer color is 55N, and that's a light shade, and I'm almost out of this. So I did pick up another one in an even lighter shade now that winter is coming and I'm not self-tanning. And so I picked mine up in Fair 30N. So I'm going from a light, which is a deeper color, to fair. And I hope it's not going to be too light. I don't think it will be, but if it is, I have enough of this left that I could add maybe a little drop to it and deepen it up. So anyways, let's just hope for the best. It comes out like this. It is kind of a serum foundation, and it has hyaluronic acid in it, and it has I think I read it has vitamin C and E in it, and it's cruelty-free, vegan, and the 55N never oxidized on me or deepened or turned orangey as I was wearing it. So they do stay pretty true to how they look when you apply them. And I do think this is a little bit light for me, but I don't mind that at all because I'm gonna add more color back into my face when I apply my little bit of bronzer and blush and all that. So it is a little bit light, but that's okay. And so this is how that looks. It does give me a medium coverage with a skin-like finish. It's neither radiant nor matte, and I really like the way it looks on my skin. Okay, so next I'm gonna go in with this beautiful palette, just so pretty. I don't know, I couldn't resist it. You know, part of it is the really pretty neutrals, but also against this gold background. Like, marketers sure know how to package things, right? I mean, this is just packaged so beautifully. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do an everyday simple eye look. I'm not gonna do a cut crease or anything crazy. I'm just gonna do my makeup how I would on the daily, but maybe add a little more sparkle. It is the holiday season, and you know, we all wanna sparkle, so I say we do it. And I'm taking this beautiful, I would call it like a grayish taupe and gray together. Very cool, neutral, and matte. And I just set that on top of my primer potion to just make a nice canvas for what I'm gonna do next. Now I'm gonna take this shade right here. It's another matte, and I guess I would describe this one as sort of like a milk chocolate. It's definitely a color that you could use, like you can find a color like this in your contour palette. So if you don't have this palette and just want to replicate this look, it would be easy enough to do. We all have like those nice taupey gray shades and mattes in our palettes. And then this milk chocolate, gosh, I think I have this color in pretty much every palette I own. No, I'm just kidding. But it's a very common color to find in eyeshadow palettes. And what I'm doing is placing it in the outer edge of my eye and blending it into the Crease as a transition shade. So it's Saturday today, and here in the Chicagoland area, the weather is finally turning cold. Not finally that I'm looking forward to it, but we had an unseasonably warm fall, and it was so beautiful. I think I talked about that all the time on my videos. It was the prettiest, well, it's still fall, but it's been the prettiest fall that I can recall in years. We usually get pretty falls here in the Midwest, but this one was just spectacular. We've had very few dark, rainy days, and it's just been really sunny and the leaves changing. We're just so vibrant. We did have a really windy day last week that blew the leaves off the trees. So now they're pretty much gone. There's still a few hanging on, but I think we've definitely had the peak color change, and now they're on the ground. And now is when things typically start to get pretty cold, and it's in the 30s today. So yeah, it's going to be chilly. It's going to be a little bit of a shock to my system. That's what it's like in Chicago. It can be 70 one day and 35 the next. Okay, one thing I'm noticing is that I don't have any dust beneath my eye, and that was one of my qualms with the only Colourpop palette I ever tried before, the Stone Cold Fox palette, that when I first got it, it was so dusty that I actually never used it for a really long time. But anyway, I love it now. I'm using it again. It's one of the most beautiful palettes I own. Now I'm taking a smudger brush, and I'm going in with that milk chocolate shade, and I'm just kind of packing some of that on this brush, and I'm smudging it in my lower lash line just to make everything cohesive. I keep using my Angie Hot and Flashy A502. This is one of my favorite brushes for placing color down and really blending it out in my crease. I grab this brush all the time. I'd like to pick up a couple more singles of this brush. It's a really good one. So I'm taking that same brush again. I did brush it off on a little rag that I have here, a makeup eraser rag, and I had that lighter color, and now I'm gonna go in with this matte, and I'm gonna just pick up a little bit of this matte on that brush, the same brush, and I'm gonna be very careful here and apply it to my outer corner. So you guys, I don't think I mentioned on my channel that my oldest daughter, Nadia, she lived in the city, Chicago, and I'd go down and visit her a lot. She's a couple of years out of college, and she just made a big move to South Carolina. So my firstborn child has left the state, and she's always just been a few hours away from us, so we could always get to her when she was in college, ever since she's left our home. But now she's in South Carolina, so I'm gonna be traveling to South Carolina a little more often. I'm gonna go in with this champagne right here, and I'm just going to take a smaller, like more dense brush for just placing color down, and I'm picking up this color. And so she's experiencing her first, she wasn't hit with the hurricane, thank God. And if any of you have been affected by Hurricane Nicole, I'm so sorry. But she's been getting a lot of the weather up there, and she was so excited to call home and tell me that work was canceled and everything was canceled because they were getting a lot of flooding in her area. So yeah, she experienced her first effects of a hurricane. Because here in the Midwest, we might just get some rain and wind when there's a hurricane elsewhere in the world, but we never have like real true effects like flooding or the roofs blowing off of our house and things like that. So, but she's experiencing that, and thank goodness it wasn't bad. I was a little bit worried. This is like kind of a permanent move for the time being. So yeah, I'm happy for her, but I'm a little melancholy too. And now I just have a clean blending brush, and this is also from the Angie Hot and Flashy. It's a really big one, and it doesn't have anything on it. And I am just gonna spend some time blending here and softening everything. It's tedious work, but it's so worth it to make sure all the edges are soft and blended and kind of smoked out. So now I'm going to use the Level Up mascara, and I'm excited to use this and see what I think about it. It has some pretty good reviews, and it's supposed to be a lengthening mascara, so we'll see. And then I also have an eyeliner here, and I don't know if this is a waterproof eyeliner. I kind of hope it is. It's a cream gel liner. It doesn't say waterproof, so I'm just going to use this to tightline my upper lash line or waterline. It looks like it's retractable and it's a gel and it's quite pointy. Let's see how it does. Oh, it's very precise. All right, well, this would be really great for using for what I did for my little wing here. I didn't realize it was such a fine tipped eyeliner. I'm going to line my lower lash line with this Rimmel eyeliner, and it's like a flesh tone or a nude, just to brighten up my eyes. Okay, now we're going to try this mascara, the Level Up mascara. It's a lengthening mascara. I've never seen anyone review this on YouTube. I have read reviews and it seems to be a popular product. So let's see, it's got this very nice brush. It looks like it's a synthetic bristle brush, rubber bristle brush. And I like the shape of it. I don't really like hourglass shape brushes. I kind of like these like little mini Christmas tree brushes where it's a little more narrow on the inside where your little lashes are and it gets wider. So I do like the shape, and it's a stiffer brush, so it's easy to apply. And from what I can tell is that it is extremely natural right out of the gate. Let's see, I'm going to build up on it. 2 coats. Okay, now it's building up very nicely. It's not clumpy and it's really separating my lashes. Let's do the bottom real quick. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry. I'm gonna go in and do the other eye real quick. Just 2 very light coats and we'll see. So here's how it looks. I really like the way it's separated, lifted, and it does appear, my lashes do appear very long. Now they are very long because I use Grande Lash. So it's not attributed to using this, obviously, but this doesn't clump right now with my first use, and that's a good thing. So it's supposed to be flake proof as well, so I will let you know if it flakes. But what I'm really hoping that it won't do is smear, because I do have oily skin around my eyes, and if it's going to smear, my lashes will touch here and I'll get a lot of smudging up here during the day. And if that happens at all, even the tiniest bit, I will let you know down in the description box. I'll link this, and next to the link, I'll give you an update on how it performed for 10 hours of wear, because that's how long I'll be wearing my makeup today. It's 9 a.m. and I'll probably remove it at 9 or 10. So yeah, so we'll see. I'll give you an update, but it looks really great and it was easy to apply and it didn't clump. And after 2 good coats, I think it looks fantastic. I could probably put another one, but this isn't a voluminous mascara. So I'm not going to even try to put another coat to add volume, because I think that it looks really great as it is. And if I want to add volume, I would just use a different mascara, because this doesn't claim to be a volumizing mascara. So I'll report back in the description box how it does today. Okay, I went ahead and I did one eyebrow with this new brow product that I picked up from Colourpop. And it's just their like retractable thin brow pen, and I'll link it. And I'm so pleased that they carry it in many different colors, and one of the shades is Auburn. And even if it is Auburn, sometimes Auburns can be hit or miss on me, because sometimes they can be almost like a little too purpley or dark, but this one definitely works for my strawberry blonde hair, and this is all I used. So I'm going to show you what I did. Now my brows are asymmetrical, so this brow will not look like this brow. What does everyone say? They're sisters, not twins, and mine are definitely, they're like distant cousins. So I'm going to show you what I would do. I have not been tweezing my brows. I've just been letting them grow wild. And so first, I'm going to brush everything up. I'm thinking about getting like an Auburn dye kit and just dyeing my brows auburn. But anyways, it's very fine tipped, and I like that it has the spoolie. And I am going to just do some hair-like strokes here. I hope you can see those. Okay, and now I'm just gonna go along the base of my brow here, the underside, and just draw some hair-like strokes. And this is a really good product for that because it's very pointy. One thing I'll say that I'm learning today with the eyeliner that I did tightlined with and this is, and the mascara wand, Colourpop likes points because they're all pointy at the end. And I like that because even the mascara, when I was applying it, that thin pointy end was so nice to get in with these little lashes. And this is really easy to draw hair-like strokes. And I'm gonna extend the towel. And now I'm gonna brush down and just kind of draw some strokes along the edge of my brow and fill it in. And my brows are done and my eyes are finished as well. So now we're gonna move on to blush. The next product is one of the new released Super Dew Serum blushes. I've never tried these, so I was excited to try one of these and see how it does. I did select the color Peasblossom, and it's a new shade released in this collection that they released for Christmas time. And this is the Super Dew Serum blush, and these also have skincare ingredients in them, and it says that it has hyaluronic acid, vitamin C, and vitamin E. And so if you're someone who doesn't like to wear a lot of makeup and you just want to put on some makeup that makes you look alive and also has skincare benefits, this might be a good one. And I've never tried any of these. They do have 3 shades that they released in the packaging that matches the palettes for this new collection, but there are a whole lot of other shades that you can find online or at Ulta, and you can go in the store and like sample them. So it says that they kind of become one with your skin and that they blend like a dream. So let's see about that. And this is Peasblossom, and it's in the red family. And I chose it because in the winter time, I really like a blush that makes me look like I have a very natural rosy flush, like I was outside tobogganing. I was gonna say shoveling the driveway, but that's not fun. I was outside tobogganing or building a snowman, and I'm coming in for my hot cocoa, and that's how it would look. Look how pretty that is. And it is very sheer, and it is blendable. I'm detecting at first a tiny bit of stickiness as I'm blending it out, but then once it blends, it doesn't feel like anything anymore. It just kind of becomes one with your skin. So like, I think at this point, I won't be able to blend it anymore because it's completely blended out. It's completely sheer. And I think if I needed to blend it more, I'd basically be removing it. And so let me see, let me apply a little bit more down here. And you need just the teensiest bit. And I have a teensy bit on my finger. So what I'm gonna do is just apply it a little bit up at the top, because when I blend out a blush, it just looks so healthy. Like, you know, like you just came back from vacation and you didn't get a sunburn, but you got a little bit pink. That's really pretty. I really like it a lot. You don't need very much at all. I still have some on my finger, and I just had the teensiest little drop. Okay, I also picked up a Super Shock bronzer, and I chose mine in the color Stole the Show. It wasn't an easy selection because I think there's 4 or 5 different highlighter shades, and they're all really beautiful. And there's some that I've never even tried a shade before where it was almost kind of rainbowy, like the pearlescence in it. I was tempted, but I thought, no, I better not. So I stole the show, and I didn't steal it. I did pay for it. And this is what it looks like. Just a really pretty, sort of very light champagne. And it has silver and gold in the formula to make it kind of, you know, the highlighter to make it glisten. There's no glitter or anything like that. It's really pretty. And it's really light. You just need the tiniest bit, and it gives you just this beautiful glow. And I almost forgot this. This is the Pretty Fresh Concealer, and mine's really light. And I don't know what compelled me to go with a really light shade. I'll link the shade I chose, but I think for winter, I thought it would be very nice just to kind of brighten up right here, but also blend and kind of use it as a highlighter as well. I'm just gonna use my Angie Hot and Flashy concealer brush. And you know what? I'm gonna clean up a little bit, make my wing a little more crisp. Okay, the concealer blends out really beautifully. It's very light and weightless to the touch, and it just really blends nicely. So yeah, I think I like this. The lip products I'm going to use today are different than the ones I've recently shared with you that I received in a kit when I purchased it from the Christmas collection, and it's the lip cream. This is the Fresh Kiss in BB Spice. I just shared this with you in a recent video, and I have a nude lip liner. It's like a pinky nude lip liner in Oh Snap. So I'm just gonna line my lips, and then I'm gonna use a different lip product today. I'm not going to use the BB Spice Fresh Kiss lip cream. I'll use something different, so hang on. And this time I'm gonna use a Luxe liquid lip in the shade Genie. And I picked this up because I wanted something a little bit deeper in tone than the nude product that I have here, the BB Spice and the Fresh Kiss. This is a beautiful nude, but I wanted something with a little more color, so I decided to try one of these. And it's like a velvet finish for a diffused pigment of color on your lips. And this does come in many different shades. And like I said, mine is in the shade Genie Doe Foot Applicator. It's got this pretty bottle and it just says Luxe on it. And I'm just gonna apply it using the applicator. Okay, so this is what that looks like. And it says on the website that it's buildable. So I'm gonna let this kind of set a little bit, and I'm gonna apply one more coat. I am gonna apply one more coat, but I do wanna let you know that it does feel cushiony on the lips. It doesn't feel like it's completely dried down like a lip stain. It still feels like there's something cushiony, but it feels good. It doesn't feel like I've got anything thick or gross on my lips. And I'm just gonna go over it like one more time, just on the bottom, and kind of diffuse it with my finger. It does seem to give me like a sheer wash of color. And that's with one more coat. I don't really want to build it up and make, I don't think it's one of those products that's meant to be completely opaque. It is supposed to be diffused and just give you like that wash of color. And I did also pick up a Luxe gloss, and this is in the shade Ticklish. They do have a clear one that's lighter than this, and this is like the second lighter of the collection, and they do come in some darker shades. Obviously, every product here comes in deeper shades, and I think I always pick somewhere in the lightest, just because I have such fair features, and you know, I can look garish if I don't select my colors carefully. And I'm just gonna apply a little of this Luxe gloss in the shade Ticklish over the lip velvet. So let's go ahead and just apply a little bit. I'm hoping this will have like a color similar to White Russian from Buxom, where it just has like a little bit of a clear, pinky milkiness about it. I don't know, I just love White Russian from Buxom so much, and I like any other product that is kind of like that. And these are a lot less expensive. I think these are like $6 or $8. Okay, so this is the finished look. Okay, so let's just recap. So the foundation, yes, yes, yes. One of my favorite products from Colourpop. I loved this the first time I used it, and I still love it. It's a great everyday foundation, and it's like $13, so it's a drugstore price. I feel like it performs every bit as well as high-end foundation. It's funny, when it came out, everybody talked about it, and now it's like crickets on YouTube. People just, you know, we're always hyping the next thing. So don't forget about this foundation. It's a really good one, and I would recommend going into Ulta to swatch the colors on your skin, because there are so many to choose from with the undertones, cool, warm, neutral. You know, there's a lot unless you really know what you need. And I thought I really knew what I needed, but yeah. Anyway, beautiful. Cheek Dew, yes, another really great product. So glad I tried it. Not expensive, worth the money. And I've loved the lip products that I've tried. I like these Fresh Kiss lip creams, and mine is a nude in BB Spice. And then the Luxe Lip Velvet. I thought this was going to be more pigmented than it is. It's not even the lightest shade, and this is Genie. So I don't dislike them though. I like this kind of sheer wash of color. And yeah, I'll notate how long wearing it is. I'm not sure if this is a longer wearing product. These are not, these lip creams. I thought they would be, but they're really just like a really great tinted lip balmy product that gives you some good coverage on your lips with the color. In this, I'm not sure what to expect in terms of it wearing off. I'll notate that along with the mascara. The mascara I really like, as long as it doesn't smear or flake, and I will notate that down in the description box as well. So watch for that. And yeah, I'm not sure about the eyeliner on my upper waterline, whether or not that will last all day. I can't tell if it's waterproof or not, but it's hanging in there right now, and I'll notate whether or not I needed to reapply it during the day. Excuse me. So I hope you enjoyed this review of a bunch of new to me Colourpop products, and some from the new collection that would be new to you as well. Thank you for spending some time with me. Let me know your thoughts, your opinions, even just say hello. I love interacting with you, and I hope you have a blessed and beautiful day. I'll see you next time.